The South African Democratic Teachers Union march is underway in Pretoria. They're protesting education budget reductions. The union marched to the Department of Basic Education and National Treasury. For more now on this, we're going to cross live to SABC reporter Calvin Dludla, who is in Pretoria. Over to you, Calvin.
Thank you very much. We are still here at the Treasury. You would remember that the South African Democratic Teachers Union, known as SADTU, handed a memorandum of their grievances to the DTG. That would be DTG Mngomezulu. But let me introduce the COSATU president. That would be Zingiswalosi. Thank you very much for your time. I saw you were engaging with officials. What are they saying? Are you happy because now they have accepted the memorandum? How many days have you given them to respond?
Thank you very much for having me. They have been given 21 days to respond. Receiving a memorandum is something else. Acting to the issues that are in the memorandum is a complete different engagement altogether. And we are hopeful that this is not just an exercise that we have taken, kilometers of walk just because we want to gather. No, we are here to send a message. We are here on very, very critical issues that are not just affecting teachers. These issues are issues that are core to our society. We are talking about the future of our kids. We are talking about the future of an African child in particular. The issue that the SADTU has brought to Treasury, to basic education, to higher education, are issues that we have been dealing with for over 3 decades. The issue of overcrowded classrooms. And if you put austerity in that, it is you are putting a spanner on the works. You're stopping everything. And we're saying if government has declared education as an apex priority, then it's going to be critical in how then you are funding education, how you're funding infrastructure programs, particularly that are related to education. We have to see it by the money that you are putting in. The issue of shortage of teachers, it is another thing. Overcrowding is about the infrastructure. It is also about the funded posts that are not filled. And we are here as COSATU to support our affiliate SADTU. And also it was not just COSATU and SADTU. You would have noticed that we had COSAS, we had the student chapter and other civil society organizations that have gathered here to send a message that austerity is against development. And you can't expect teachers to sacrifice. If you look into the provincial results in January, you will realize that in each and every province, you have more black schools, more schools from our black communities that have outdone themselves. But this does not necessarily mean that the conditions have been so conducive. It meant that teachers and students have sacrificed. We can't today, when we're dealing with floods, the climate change issues, for an example, in KwaZulu-Natal, you would have seen that kids and teachers are unable to go to school because there are no bridges, because bridges that are there are collapsing. These are infrastructure issues. You can't have kids in the rural communities who are unable to study for their exams because they do not have electricity, because they do not have water, because they are walking long distances. And these are issues that are affecting the growth of our economy, because you can't de-link education from the economic growth.
This has been an ongoing issue for a very long time, as you are saying, but you have been engaging the Department of Basic Education and Higher Education and Training, also and Treasury. That's where we are. But it doesn't seem that you are finding a solution. You are fighting a losing battle, one would say.
It will not be a losing battle. Let me remind you, in 1973, during the Durban strike, if you look at the demands that workers made, even before trade unions were allowed to exist, the issue of the national minimum wage and the living wage were part of those demands. It took us decades before we could arrive at the national minimum wage. Today we have it, and today we're defending it. We are saying our efforts will not be in vain, but also we must appreciate the government of national unity, because now you have seen that particularly in the Western Cape, you don't only have SADTU, you have other trade unions of teachers in other federations that have joined with SADTU in saying to government of national unity, you must address these issues of education. This is an opportunity for workers to unite. That is why we refuse even ourselves to be divided on political ground, because we understand that the issues that are confronting educators, workers in South Africa is greater than the politics that are taking place in our country. The issues that we must be united around and addressing are issues that the educators, the police, the farm workers, the domestic workers, security workers in the security industry, and every worker in the retail sector are confronted with, including yourselves in the media spectrum. And we are saying it is about that unity that will propel us to get where we want to be. It is only when workers are united that we'll be able to advance our struggle.
I see there are a lot of people here, thousands of people from different provinces are here to support this march, particularly from COSATU regions or provinces. Now tell me, 21 days the deadline. After 21 days, if they don't meet your demands, where to from here?
Definitely COSATU will follow from SADTU. This is a SADTU march. We're here to give support of it. Remember, in 21 days does not mean we disengage. The most important part is the engagement that must take place at the boardroom level. We are not going to wait until 21 days. Between now and the 21 days, the engagement must continue to take place. What we have brought here in the 3 departments is to say to them, you can't proceed in implementing austerity, but you can't also proceed. Whom are you engaging if you are not engaging the stakeholders? Educators are stakeholders in this education. So you can't then proceed and implement things that are anti the education sector in our country, and you leave behind the critical stakeholder, which is the educators themselves.
Thank you very much, Zingi. Well, that was Zingi Swalosi. Zingi Swalosi is from the trade union COSATU, explaining to SABC about the reasons why they are here. They have handed over the memorandum of their grievances to DTG Mngomezulu from Treasury. As you know, that we started at the Department of Basic Education. They received the memorandum, and now we're here. I have to tell you that the crowd now is dispersing, and most of them are going home. As you remember very well, that most of them are coming from different provinces. I'm talking about your KwaZulu-Natal, I'm talking about your Eastern Cape, I'm talking about your Mpumalanga. I have to tell you that a lot of people, thousands of people came out in numbers to support this march. I have to say that for now, I have to say back to you in studio or because of time.
Thank you very much. Calvin Dludla reporting to us live from Pretoria, where SADTU has handed over a list of their demands, at least, to the National Treasury.